Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Cotton and Charles Davis.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gordon alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5.
And how about that defense last week? They pitched a shutout, and it's really more like a no-hitter because they absolutely dominated that game from the opening whistle.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Howell. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I want to wait till the season's over, but he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
Touchdown, Chicago! A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
They go play action here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 75 yards. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well-organized, well-coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And right now they're in that number 2 spot. They'd love to hold on to that, but first things first, they want to clinch that division.
Well, let's go back to the conversation we had with the coaching staff, and you asked that very question about how important is it really? You got a good team. Can't you win from it?
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Hurry up, here we go.
They're going to look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because...
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there, 79 yards. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
So an onside kick fail in the first quarter. Not sure I completely see the logic there.
It's not apparent, is it? You almost have to go deeper, I think, and maybe... if we try and work along with them and speculate a little bit here, they must feel like they need to steal possessions in this game. That maybe they don't match up possession for possession with the opposite team. They got to steal it and try and gain an advantage. And they tried. They just didn't get it done.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere you looked, they were covered.
Sometimes it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
Throw left side complete. It's Howell. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough. Swing the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And they'll run it here. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another first down with that run.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The numbers for him from a week ago: 6 catches, 63 yards, and a touchdown.
And he has 10 touchdowns on the season. When anyone scored that many times, as a former defender, I know exactly what you're talking about before the game. Key on him Don't let him get in the end zone today, guys. Let's keep him out of there.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here.
All right, here we go.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And there he goes again. Oh, and they had him stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me.
Face mask. Defense.
So instead of forcing the field goal, it'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah,
Automatic
the force
first down.
was trying to make something happen that just didn't need to, right? I mean, plays happen, let it go. It's over. Instead, it creates a penalty.
They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. He'll look to throw, fighting to stay upright. And he is going to go down, back at the 11-yard line.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category.
Hurry up, here we go.
Back to throw. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. And partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern in the middle of the end zone.
And ordinarily, that's a tough spot to find because there's usually coverage to take away that portion of the field. But they found a gap, and they exploited it.
Now the try here for the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights, and we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time.
That's true.
That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st and 10, Fields. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A very solid gain of 27. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football.
Touchdown, Vikings! In for the score. And the Vikings are going to take the lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
They'll look to throw here. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And he'll get this down only to the 18. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they?
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Point after, right down the middle. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
And this is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Fields. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there at 22. Well, a big play like that looks familiar, doesn't it? Like we saw a week ago, reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Nothing wrong with being explosive. Nothing wrong with being electric. Nothing wrong with carrying it over from the previous week off to a really, really hot start.
Wide open receiver complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory. Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score. And the Vikings are going to take the lead. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open. He has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, huh? And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off around the 41. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. Back to throw. Fields. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings. A lot of times we talk about being opportunistic as a defense as a whole. Right now it's becoming just one guy on this defense.
And he is doing such a fantastic job because everyone emphasizes taking the ball away, going after the football. But some people just have a special knack for it. He forced.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play. And here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling, whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep. Those types of things, now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down.
Let's go! Blue landed!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Runs through the contact. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. This quarterback now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. And he fends him off. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. He'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They'll look to throw. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. In for the score, and the Bears get a bit closer.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Looking to throw. Fields. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. He's at the 30. 10. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The Vikings leave the offense on the field as they're going to line up and go for 2. A toss running left. It's Carpenter, and he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. They get the conversion, and Charles, when you only have 2 yards to go, what do you think of the toss play? Because initially it kind of sets you back a little bit.
It does, especially if you get a lot of pressure coming towards you. But if you can get to the edge, if you seal the edge with your blocking, often your tackle or your tight end on what they call the play side where the ball goes, you can get to the corner, and that allows those big guys to get out ahead of the runner.
Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And the division title out of reach, we know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
So it's just a matter of adjusting now, isn't it? And what I mean by that is mentally. Every team starts the season thinking, let's go for the number 1 seed, right? Being the top team. Number 2 is pretty great, too, because you get the opening bye, and you're at home after that. But it doesn't matter at this point. Just getting in, and you just sit down and talk to your team. Would you rather go on the road and deal with someone, or would you rather stay at home for the playoffs? Let's go on the road and go take someone out.
Back to throw. Fields. Wide open receiver complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And that, boys and girls, is an NFL record 6th touchdown reception. The record has stood since 1950. What a game.
How about that? Because so many things have to go right in order for it to happen. Not just him catching the passes, someone delivering it accurately, offensive line giving them time to throw the ball. A true team record, but he stands above it because he was on the receiving end of so many great plays.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out.
False start, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long.
Set, 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that
by the time we have to leave the booth.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. This quarterback now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Fields. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, I've lost track of how many times he's been in the end zone. This is just flat unbelievable.
Doesn't matter whether you have an abacus, a calculator, just old-fashioned pencil and paper trying to total it up. The number is staggering. What a performance. This man knows how to find the end zone and make it count.
And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football, that makes big plays, and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. Wide open receiver complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 67 yards. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Howell. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36, 30, the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. Now a toss coming right side. It's Carpenter, and they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us, and they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why would you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
Back to throw here. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A pretty large mental mistake right there to give him the first.
It's situational football. You have to know you're down in distance. On that 4th down, any type of penalty would give them a first down. So you can't jump off sides. You can't encroach. You've got to be careful.
Hurry up, here we go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be out.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears claw one back.
Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And you can see they're in 2nd place in the division, but they have clinched postseason football. They have the best record among the wild card contenders, but you never really feel comfortable when you're down around that 5 or 6 slot, do you?
No, you don't. You figure you've got to close the deal. You've got to make sure you clinch that spot to make sure you keep your place in the tournament, in the playoffs. But the other part, too, is the coaching staff. All year they've talked about getting a high seed, clinching home field. Now that talk changes to, hey, we're in. That's all that matters. Let's go on the road and take care of business.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They give him a gain of 37. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. His throw incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And now another one thrown incomplete. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
On fourth down, Fields. This will be caught inside the 10. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score. And this Viking offense is running away with this one.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there, and if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll drop the throw. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And his kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
23 yards on the play.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way now.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter, maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game.
This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. Extra point right down the middle as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And now out comes Minnesota. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right? And
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Wide open receiver, complete. The 30, 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This
but she's singing too.
No, she's
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll punt it away for the fourth time today. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And now out comes Minnesota. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
On first down, Fields. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Back to throw. Fields. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Throwing on first down. Fields. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top. I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual
it.
guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Now the final act of this victory, the extra point. The extra point up and good, but this one was decided anyway, as that will be the final action in this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Minnesota, a final win here means they'll finish off the regular season at a solid 13-3. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Bears, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. But